We're going to have those stories in a moment, but we want to begin with the breaking news on Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the self-proclaimed mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, now to be tried at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. KSM, as he's known, along with 4 co-conspirators, will face military commission trials, according to U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, who made it clear that he does not agree with members of Congress who have blocked the trials from being held on U.S. soil.
Do I know better than them? Yes. I respect their ability to disagree, but I think they should respect the fact that this is an executive branch function, a unique executive branch function. I have to deal with the situation as I find it, and I have reluctantly made the determination that these cases should be brought in a military commission.
Michael Isikoff is NBC News national investigative correspondent. He's in D.C. So, Michael, why the military trial at Gitmo instead of a traditional trial right here on American soil?
Because Congress has made that impossible. Basically, Congress has put in restrictions in Defense Authorization Acts that forbids the spending of any money to transfer Gitmo detainees to the United States. And that would make it impossible to have this trial any place other than Guantanamo. And remember also, during the Bush administration, a new courtroom was built in Guantanamo precisely for this purpose, to hold this sort of high security trial. A lot of preparation and work had gone into preparing the case against a military case against these defendants. So to start from scratch someplace else would have caused a lot of problems. But a lot of defense lawyers are saying this is not going to be easy. There's going to be challenges every step of the way. And in fact, because those original military charges had been withdrawn, the military commissions will have to start from scratch against these defendants again.
And Michael, how sensitive is the White House to the fact that we're approaching the 10th anniversary of the attacks without anyone having been brought to justice? Meanwhile, the Obama White House announcing today that President Obama is officially back in the race for a re-election bid. Coincidence or what?
Well, interesting that you should ask that, because I was talking with somebody involved in this process from the defense side who said who was confident this was no coincidence. You heard both Jay Carney and the Attorney General today both talk about the need for swift justice. Now, swift has been anything but. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has been in U.S. custody for more than 7 years now, and as have Ramzi bin al-Shibh. And so the idea that we are moving swiftly to put arguably the worst criminals in American history to trial doesn't seem to fit. But that said, we are coming on that 9/11 anniversary. There's going to be a lot of questions as we get closer. Why haven't these people been tried? And the fact that the Obama administration had been delaying as much as possible this very painful decision for it to reverse course and try these people in Guantanamo is something that would have loomed larger politically as we got closer to 9/11.
Right. Justice potentially swift, not so much. Michael Isikoff. Thank you, Michael. Great to see you.
Correct. Thank you.
The decision to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed at Gitmo marks a complete 180 on the part of the Obama administration, which had spent 2 years planning to try him in a civilian court in New York. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Chuck Todd is live at the White House for us. So, Chuck, why this big switch now from New York to Gitmo, especially with the preparation that went into this, and also the fact that President Obama ran on the part of his campaign platform of saying that he wanted to try those men on American soil?
Well, look, Michael put it correctly. Congress had made it impossible to via funding mechanisms to somehow hold this trial in a federal in a federal court, or even, as Attorney General Holder said, on that facility, still sort of a federal trial on a secure facility, that there was just no way they could do it. And you know, the president lost quite a few Democrats. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, John McCain were the 3 prominent Republicans on this issue, but he didn't have the support of a guy like Jim Webb, Democratic senator from Virginia, former Secretary of the Navy. He didn't have him on this, and I can tell you, I know that there was a lot of debate with some Democratic members on this issue. And so when you don't even have all of your own party's support on Capitol Hill for this, at this point, then it was just simply laying the groundwork for doing this. So we knew a couple weeks ago they had to announce that they were going to restart the military commission process down in Guantanamo Bay. And then, of course, we knew that a couple weeks later was going to be followed by this announcement.
So, Chuck, does the White House then consider this to be a defeat in light of all the effort to hold these trials on U.S. soil?
Would they consider it a defeat? No, I don't think they would look at it as a defeat, but it certainly is a broken promise. This is day one of him in office. The first full day in office, signs the executive order. This was all part of this to try to both close down Guantanamo, get rid of military commissions, do this in federal court. And you talk to prosecutors and they believe they can do this better. You know, there is some question about whether, for instance, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed could be sentenced to death in a military commission. There is no question that that could be done in the federal court system. So those are, I think, are some of the, you heard Attorney General Holder, I mean, he went off on Congress on this. He was basically saying, we're making this decision, but I've been dragged kicking and screaming into making this decision. I had no other choice but to do it this way. Because, as Michael pointed out,
right,
9/11/11, that is the 10th anniversary. And if you do not have justice for the families by then, and you don't, or a path to justice, that's a tough pill to swallow for the victims of 9/11, the families of those victims.
Well, certainly, especially when the president's going to be in a vigorous campaign re-election bid at that point. Today, he announced that he's going to be running for re-election, putting out that